The best plan in the world may not work if you don't work too.
So many of my clients get into destructive behavior, drugs, drinking, procrastination, self-loathing, because we can't appreciate stuff that we're just given. We like it much more when we earn it.
So here's the classic mistake that comes up again and again and again. I see all my clients and they all say the same thing. I'm waiting for motivation. You know what? Motivation doesn't go, here I am, I'm motivation, I'm at your door, and I've come to motivate you. That never happens. Waiting to be motivated is a huge, big, classic mistake. You have to take action to become motivated. You see, I don't love going to the gym. I don't really love running. But I never wait for the motivation to run or go to the gym to come. I know if I get on that machine and start to work out, I become motivated. I have a Pilates machine in my house. I have exercise equipment in my house. I have a boat right outside my house, a kayak that I could go on every day. But if I don't take the first action, pick up my paddle, get on that paddleboard, get in that kayak, or stand on my Pilates reformer, I won't do it. And often I go, you know what? I'm really not in the mood. I'm going to do 5 minutes on the reformer. And the 5 minutes becomes 25 minutes because when I start, I keep going. I know most of you have had this experience. I don't really want to tidy the house, but I'm just going to do one little thing. I've put it off all day. Let me start do the laundry, tidy up the house, pick up stuff. And as you do it, you feel so good that you do more. Here's another thing I see with many people who say, I'm not motivated to have sex. A lot of women say to me, you know, I'm not really motivated. I've got so much to do. Make the kids' lunchbox, put out the kids' clothes, walk the dog, tidy up the house, do the dishes. I feel like the last thing on my list is have sex with my husband. I don't want to tick that list. It's just another to-do. But then they say, but you know what? I decided to have sex, and the weirdest thing happened. I started thought, ooh, I'm really into this. This is actually very nice. And as I began to have sex, I became motivated to really enjoy the sex, whether it's sex or running or tidying up. You do not become motivated until you take action. You know, I've written 5 best-selling books, and I know you don't wake up and go, oh, I'm so motivated to sit on my desk and write and write and write. You have to sit on your desk and go, you know, I'll just do some spell check. I'll just look at some chapters. I just do that. And then what happens is because you are taking action, because I'm taking action to just think, well, I'll just spell check and grammar check and look at the layout and the formatting. And as I do that, I suddenly become so motivated to write more. So if you want motivation, never, ever, ever wait for it to turn up at your door or in your living room, indeed in your bedroom or in your gym, because it won't. But when you take the first bit of action, suddenly you are motivated. Motivation begins when you take the action that you don't want to take. It's fine to go, you know, I don't really want to go to the gym, but I'm going. I don't really want to clean up my house. I'm doing it. I don't want to go through these emails or do my taxes or write out this speech, but I'm doing it. I'm not even in the mood today for sex, but I'm doing it anyway. And please don't think I'm saying you should have sex when you don't want to. I'm saying in a relationship with a person where you love each other, sometimes you think, well, you know, I could. Why not? Really in the mood, but I'm going to get in the mood. So I get in a lot of trouble saying, oh, you've just told me to have sex when I didn't want to. No, I haven't. I've told you that if you begin sex in a loving relationship, you'll often find that you start to like it and enjoy it because motivation follows action. It comes after action, not before. So remember, if you're waiting for motivation to turn up, it may never turn up. But if you take the action that you would like the motivation to give, if you do it first, all of a sudden, everything clicks into place. You take action. In taking action, you become motivated, and then you keep going. We've all done this. Suddenly I thought, well, I'll just do 10 minutes of stretching. I've been working out for an hour. I thought I'd just tidy up one drawer. I blitzed the whole house. Suddenly I'm motivated to really work on my business, work on my website, call my clients, do things, because instead of waiting for motivation to appear, I took the first steps. And here's something else that will really help you to be motivated. You must say, I like it, I want it, I have chosen it. I know as a writer, waking up thinking, oh no, I've got to write that book today. Oh, I'd rather be anywhere than here, doesn't work, because all of a sudden I have an overwhelming desire to tidy up the sock drawer, make all the silverware in order, straighten the cushions, because what did I tell my mind? Oh no, I don't want to do this. My mind's job is to do what I tell it and to take me away from what I tell it I don't want to do. So I get up and go, I love writing. I want to write. There is nowhere I'd rather be right now than writing this book. I recently met a runner and he said, you know, I run up this hill every day and I always hate it. And at the end I go, I can't take another step. But then I started to listen to you, Marisa. I started to go, I love running up this hill. I adore running up this hill. It thrills me. What was amazing is not only did he run up that hill, he ran down and up again. He said, I used to dread the count of 100 to get to the top of the hill. Now I'm getting up to 200. And I know the same thing when I'm working out. I go, okay, I've only got 20 sit-ups to do. And I think, I do another 20 now. I've only got 15 lunges left. And as I get to the last one, I think, well, why don't I do another 15? We can cope with anything we know there's an ending. And we motivate ourselves when you take action. But as well as taking the action, you have to go, I want it, I love it, I've chosen it, I like it, I like it, I like it, I want it, I want it, I want it. And I recently met a writer who said, you know, I found writing the most excruciating, lonely, isolating thing to do. And think of those words, excruciating, lonely, isolating. He said, but I listened to you. And I said, actually, it's thrilling, it's engrossing, it's absorbing, it's rewarding. I worked with a model once and she said, you know, being a bikini model, it is torture, it's excruciating. I said, why? She goes, well, people look at my body. And I thought, isn't that interesting that she'd say being a bikini model is excruciating, agony and torture. We all know it's not torture. It's certainly not excruciating, it's not agony. But the words you use define how you feel. Your words shape your reality. Take action, begin motivation, use the right words. I love it, I want it, I've chosen it. And finally, this one sentence, should you choose to use it, will change your entire life. I have chosen this. And I've chosen to feel great about it. I've chosen to spend all weekend working on my business, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. I've chosen to write a book, write a speech, work on something, send it out. There's nothing else I'd rather do. I've chosen to work out, and while I work out, I keep saying, I love it, I love it. My body loves the sit-ups. My legs love these lunges. My arms love these pull-ups. It's what I call lie, cheat, and steal. Lie to your mind, cheat failure, steal back success. You know what to do. Take action first, don't wait. Use powerful, exciting words. I didn't know that we should have goals. We know that we should have dreams. Some people say, but I need to have reasonable ones. I don't want to be disappointed. I'm just going to have a little goal, a little dream, and then maybe I can get it. And if I don't, I won't be disappointed. You know what? You will. Here's why. Your potential expands as you move towards it. You cannot know. None of us can know what our potential is, because as we move towards our potential, it moves and it moves and it moves. And that's a great thing to know. Oh, I don't know what my potential is, because I get to it, it expands. Yes, it does. And here's a wonderful thing. When your mind expands to a new dimension, it never, ever, ever goes back. It keeps going forwards. I used to work with prisoners, and they'd say things like, I just want to get out. And if I get out, I could just have a little tiny studio apartment and just a job stacking shelves, that's all I want. But then a year later they go, well, this apartment's too small. I need a separate bedroom. I want people to come and stay. I need 2 bedrooms. And it doesn't challenge me to stack shelves. I need something more. And we see that in the Olympic world, where Mark Spitz in the 80s won so many medals. He was RoboCop. He was amazing. He was a machine, winning all those medals and breaking records. And now, you know what? You can't get into the swimming team swimming at the speed he swam at. It's no longer good enough. Because when he moved to that potential and broke records, people followed him. When Roger Bannister ran a mile in under 4 minutes, that same year, 27 more people did it too. Before that, it wasn't even possible. And athletes show us our potential. People who do amazing things show us, wow, I'm a human. I could sing like that, soar like that, jump like that. And even if I can't, I'm going to celebrate another human being soaring towards a potential I didn't even know existed. So why should you dream big? Because your mind expands to new dimensions. I mean, people say, I've learned to manifest. It's amazing. I manifest parking spaces. How cool is that? I know, it's very cool. I do that too. In central London, I will always find a parking space because I tell my mind I'll find it. But if I could do that, why would I stop at a parking space? Expand to bigger, better things. You have a universal brain. As you think, someone else is thinking your thoughts. We see how birds fly and fish swim, and they have a universal brain. Birds fly as a big bird, fish swim as a big fish. And one doesn't go, hey, I'll be the tail, you be the fin. They just move together. And there's a universal brain. That means as you think about inventing something, someone in the world is thinking about it too. The day I began to think about writing a book, I went to a dinner party and I sat next to an editor. That wasn't a fluke. Because when you expand your mind to new dimensions, all kinds of things happen to meet your expectations. They all stem from the belief, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a play, I'm going to do something, produce something. So if you're going to have dreams and goals, make them big. You know that expression, reach for the moon, you'll probably have the stars. Reach higher, dream bigger. Dream bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't dream small. If you have a gift for making things happen, don't think, well, I'm just going to visualize that meeting being cancelled. I don't want to go. I'm dreading going, oh, look, I thought that thought and they cancelled it. Yay. How about thinking, well, if I can think that, if I have that much power, why don't I visualize the meeting being amazing and phenomenal and productive and amazing? You see, many people stop with their dream. I want to find love. That's a nice dream. I'm going to find love. For how long? An hour? An afternoon? A night? How about for the rest of your life? How about finding the most amazing love? I had a friend. We used to live in Notting Hill. Notting Hill has a lot of rock stars. And in her road was a rock star. And she used to sing this song, I want that man. It was a big hit at the time. And she said, I want him, I want him, I want him in my bed, I want him. And what happened is, one day he got a bit drunk and he rang the wrong doorbell. She opened the door and there he was. And he was in her bed and they had a wonderful time and she never saw him again. I'm like, but why did you stop at that? You manifested him, you dreamt of him and he turned up. You could have had him forever if you dreamt bigger. We're going to meet, our hearts and souls are going to collide. He's going to see that I'm the most amazing woman in the whole world for him. We're going to be together for the rest of our lives. We're going to grow in love. He's my soulmate. You saw him, you connected with him at some level. He turned up on your doorstep and he left after one night because you didn't dream a big enough dream. I want more money. Hang on a minute. I might have $10 in my pocket. No, that's not my dream. Well, make your dream specific. I want $1 million. And by the way, what do you want it for? Well, I'm going to create a product. I'm going to make something. I'm going to monetize. I'm going to do something. And when I get that $1 million, I'm going to help more people, employ people, give more people help. Because the bigger you make your dream, the more you will manifest it. If you want to be an Olympic athlete, that's a big dream. Going to go to the Olympics, break a world record, but you have to go out and train and practice and do stuff. But if you have a dream that's big, you can go towards it. And when Whoopi Goldberg won an Oscar and held it up, she said, for every little black kid in the projects, dream big. Don't ever let someone say you can't do that. When someone said to Danny DeVito, Danny, you'll never be a movie star, I went, I will. When someone said to Naomi Campbell, black girls don't get on the cover of Vogue, that door shut, she went, I'll kick it open. And I love that about her because she said, no, you are not going to stop my dream. I got very ill in the middle of my career and my doctor said, you can't go to Costa Rica and give this talk. I said, no, that's my dream. He said, well, you can't fly. Why don't I go on a boat? I don't care how long it takes. I am not giving up my dream. I'm going no matter what it takes. I'll go by boat and train like if it takes me a week. I am going. And he went, you know what? I'm going to let you go. I'm going to sign you off because you're so determined. But the determination to follow my dream made me fight a very tough illness. And I bounced back from that because I would not allow it to interfere with my dream, not even for a week. A week after I had a surgery, I was back on stage and speaking with Richard Bandler, having a great time because I had a dream and my mind was like a missile. It's always moving towards that dream. And it was exciting. It was challenging. So dream big dreams. You are just as likely to make a big dream come true as a little one. If you can make a little one come true, I wanted more money and I found $20 in the street. I wanted love and I found someone for a night. I wanted to be pregnant and I got pregnant. I didn't have a baby. See, that's a classic example of a dream not being correct. People say to me, I just want to be pregnant. I'm like, no, you don't. I do. You don't. They go, I do. I go, no. You want to conceive and carry and grow and deliver a perfect baby. You could be pregnant 10 times without a baby. That's not your dream. That's just the beginning. So if you want a baby, don't go, I want to be pregnant. Go, I want to conceive, carry to full term, grow a perfect, thriving baby. I want to deliver an amazing, healthy baby. I want to have an amazing relationship with this child. And I want to grow an amazing new human being. Because your mind goes, oh, I get that. I can see that dream. But I thought you just wanted to be pregnant. No. You see, you've got to be very specific. Because my dreams don't come true. It shouldn't even be a dream. You see, when you go, I dream of finding love. I wish for love. I long for love. I hope for love. Your mind goes, well, keep dreaming, keep hoping, keep wishing. When you go, no, I will go out and find it. I am not going to sit on the sofa watching TV. I'm going out to find love. I'm going to believe I'm worth it. And then I'm going to put myself in front of the kind of person I want to be with. And then I'm going to find one. You see, I'm at work with women who go, I want love. And I go to yoga every day. Well, there's no men in yoga. Maybe there's one, but there's 35 women. If you want a guy, you've got to go to the weights class or the car wash or a poker school or a golf club. If you're a guy and you want to find a woman, you should go to yoga because there's not many men there. You should get out of the weights and go to the yoga. So you have to be proactive with your dream. I want to be a published author or a speaker. Well, go to Toastmasters, learn to speak. When I wanted to write a book, I wrote an article for my daughter's school magazine. It was the first time I wrote anything, and they loved it. And that led me to going to that dinner, which led me to sitting next to the publisher, which led me to getting a book deal. But I didn't have the courage to write till I wrote a very small article for a magazine. But that was always my step. I didn't go, oh, I've written an article, now I can sit back at home with the potato chips and the TV. That was my step to be bigger, bigger, bigger. Dream big dreams, but don't make them dreams. Make them goals. Make them stretch. You demand more of you. And know you are worth it. You can have a goal, write it out, create a mood board. If you have a dream or a goal and you create a mood board and you look at it every day, it wires it into your mind. And finally, get a peer group. When I was writing a book, I decided I needed to put on a talk to get publishers there. And I told my peer group, next month I'm putting on this talk. As I said it, I could think, oh, you know what? I do that in 2 months. I do it next year. I'd committed in front of a group of people called peers, funnily enough. I'm a peer. But I committed to putting on that talk. I put on that talk. Google were there. HarperCollins turned up. I got a massive book deal. I almost cancelled it, but I kept going because I had committed. If I hadn't committed, I wouldn't have done it. When you commit to a group to doing something, your chance of doing it goes up by a whopping 80%. Find your own peer group. Commit. I'm going to take action. Taking small actions and big actions every day in the direction of your goals takes you towards your goal like a laser. So think of your goal or your dream, and instead of dreaming, take action. Little actions, big actions every single day. When I wanted to be a known therapist, I would ring up a magazine or a newspaper and ask them, hey, I just saw you had an article there on fire walking, but would you like to write an article on proper hypnosis for athletes? Because that's what fire walking really is. And most of them said yes. Some said no. Oh, who are you? No, thank you. But I kept going. That was my goal. Every day, make one phone call, send one email. If you get a rejection, come back. I remember vividly that sound, thump, when the manuscript hit my carpet in my hall, because they only send them back where they don't like them. And I heard that sound a lot. My manuscript came back, and it came back, and it came back. And I remember J.K. Rowling saying every time it came back, she repassed it and sent it to someone else. Didn't stop to think, didn't have time to cry, just get that back in an envelope, send it to another publisher. And I did the same. She made publishing history. But I got my books published because I kept going. My dream is to be published. You might reject me, but I'll find someone else who doesn't. When a director said to Meryl Streep, Meryl, you are not beautiful enough to be an actress. She said, you know what, that's your opinion. In a sea of opinions, I think I'll find another opinion. Don't let anyone burst your bubble, diminish your dreams. The most successful who got rejected, John Lennon, Eminem, One Direction, the Beatles, so many people. Einstein was told he was educationally subnormal. John Lennon was told he was on the road to nowhere. Harry Potter got rejected by several publishers, but that didn't matter. Keep dreaming your dream, but make it a goal. Take steps, take action, believe in yourself, keep going, and dream bigger, better dreams. Remember, when your mind expands to a new dimension, it cannot, will not, does not go back. And when you move towards your potential, it moves and it moves and it moves. Beyonce was in a band once, and here she is. She's made it all on her own. Robbie Williams got fired from Take That, and here he is. Piers Morgan got fired as the editor of a newspaper, and here he is. Some of the most successful people got fired, got dumped, got rejected, but they held on to their goal. You can too. So the law of attraction, if you simplify it, says whatever you focus on, you can get more of. Focus on what you want and you'll get more of it. And that is actually true. Whatever you focus on, you move towards, which is why it is so important to focus on what you want and do not focus on what you don't want. After all, if you were having an injection in your arm and you look at it and think about it, it's more painful than if you read a message on your phone and take your attention elsewhere. So I absolutely believe, and science has proven, that when you focus on something, you go towards it. But the thing I think lets people down in the law of attraction is that it doesn't ever talk about application. It kind of says you want the best partner in the world, focus on it, think about it, imagine they're there and they will turn up. And I'm like, well, not really. If you never leave the couch, how are they going to turn up? You see, if I want a new home, I can think about the home I want, I can imagine, but I also know I've got to go and look at it. I've got to go onto websites and look at homes and then go and view that home. If I wanted a new job,
I can think about the new job, imagine the new job, and believe I can manifest it, but I also need to apply for that new job, go for interviews, put myself out there. And if you want an amazing relationship, here is how the law of attraction works. It makes you think about what you want. It makes you believe that you are worth what you want. But it misses out something very important. You must actually go out there. Put yourself in front of the kind of person you want to be with. So the first step is to think about what you really want, the kind of person you want, what qualities would they have. But then there's a second thing you must do. Okay, I've worked out what I want, but what kind of person does what I want? Maybe I'm going to have to do some work on myself. If I want a really fit person that's into working out and super healthy, I better at least become healthy and enjoy that too. If I want someone who is deeply intellectual, maybe I should start reading more intellectual books too. You don't have to change yourself, but you may have to do something, because women especially are very good at, this is what I want, and men too. I want this, that's what I want. But then you've got to think about, what does what you want? When you've done that, I know what I want, I know what that person wants back, I believe I am worthy of that person. Now you have to put yourself in front of those people. You have to go where they are. If you believe you're worthy of love, and then go to somewhere where the kind of person you want to be with is, you'll probably end up with that person. If you believe you're worthy of love and you don't put yourself in front of that person, it just won't work. And I know this. I've met so many women who go, yeah, I'm really ready for a great guy. What do you do in your spare time? I go to yoga, I go to a woman's book club, and I hang out with my girlfriends. Well, that's lovely, but you've just said you want a great guy. You've got to leave the yoga room and go to the gym, go to the weight room, even if you don't want to do weights, because you've got to put yourself in front of the kind of guy you want to be with. So forget about yoga and leave the women's book club and find a book club where men are. And I find men do the same thing. What do you want? I want a really fit girl. Are there any in the weight room? No. Then go to yoga, go to Pilates, put yourself in front of the kind of person you want, while knowing with unshakable conviction, with absolute certainty, you are worth it. So the law of attraction is great at making you believe something. One of the things I noticed on law of attraction is someone who had cancer. And she was saying on there, I kept saying, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing, believing I was already healed. And I think that's wonderful, but there is a second step. You need to read some books on what you can do to help your body fight cancer. You need to take certain supplements. There are so many things you can do: supplements, vitamins, lifestyle, meditation, taking all the parabens out of your products, not sleeping with your mobile phone under your pillow. So if you believe that you can heal yourself and add into that mix certain things that certainly help you heal yourself, you are more likely to heal yourself. And let's imagine you want the career of your dreams, or maybe you want to start your own business. And that's all good, and you can use the law of attraction to visualize the career of your dreams, to visualize someone funding your business, setting up your startup. And it's a great visualization. You can use vision boards, you can use meditation, you can use so many things to excite your imagination, to fire off those neurons that go, hey, I can do this, but you still have to take action. The best plan in the world may not work if you don't work too. You see, I had an idea to write a book, and I knew I was going to sit down and write a book, and I did sit down and write a book, but I had to also find an agent, speak to people. I was very lucky that as I was beginning to write my book, I went to a dinner party, sat next to someone, happened to be an agent, which was very useful. And then I started to tell one of my clients I was writing a book, and she said, you know, the best agent in town is one of your patients. I'm like, really? Oh yeah. So I contacted him. He came to my house. He ended up being my agent, but I also had to do work. I had to write that book. I had to have the confidence. It was an amazing book. And agents will tell you, people go, oh, hey, I could do a Harry Potter. I've written a book, here it is. And they go, actually, no, it's not quite right. And the second thing with the law of attraction is you must be prepared to bounce back from rejection. Imagine Celine Dion submitted an audio cassette to a music company and was using law of attraction. When she called them, they went, actually, we didn't like it. And she said, that's not correct. You haven't listened to it. If you heard my voice, you would sign me. And then they went off and they found that cassette. They played it. She made history. The man who wrote Conversations with God was rejected by his publisher. He came back. I was rejected by a publisher. I was fired from a job I loved, presenting something on television, not because I wasn't good, but they just wanted a new face the next year. And you have to have more than the law of attraction. You have to have unshakable confidence. You have to have grit, determination, drive, and you must have the bounce back factor. You can reject me, you can fire me, you can overlook me, you can dump me, but I am coming back. And I don't doubt that the law of attraction will give you that, because you have this powerful belief, I'm attracting it, I'm attracting it, I'm attracting it. But if you have that powerful belief and someone says, no, you're not what I want at all, what happens then? What happens then is you go back and say, this is a delay, it's not a denial. Someone else will love what that person doesn't want. I will bounce back. But you have to have that determination to overcome rejection, and you must work. I see so many people who miss the point. They got a song, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a superstar, I'm a rock star, and they sing that song. But they don't do anything to make themselves become a millionaire or a rock star. They forget there are steps you must take, actions you must take, new things that you must learn. After all, if you want something new, you may have to learn something new. I was a therapist for years and I loved being a therapist, but I had to learn new things, SEO, search engine optimization. I had to learn the internet. I had to learn when I wrote books that you don't write what you want, you write what people want to read. And then you better research what other people are writing, what's selling, what title. After all, the Little Book of Calm, before it was renamed, didn't sell. It was in the shelves, nothing happened until they took it back, retitled it, and then it flew off the shelves. It's not enough to write. You have to understand what people are looking for. Who is your competition? What covers work? What titles work? And even if you write an amazing book, that's not enough. You now have to have the confidence to go out and do book talks, to write for magazines. When I wrote my first book, I actually found it quite easy once I got over the resistance of sitting in a chair alone for hours. And I didn't realize at the time that you also have to be able to give talks, give speeches, go to book signings, make every person feel interested. And now, in publishing, if you can't promote yourself, sell yourself, speak on camera, have something extra to offer, you may never be signed. And sure, you can self-publish, but even then, you still have to work. Wayne Dyer, who I adore, went on the road for 2 years, going to different radio stations just to get his book to sell. It was published. He got that far, but then he had to make it sell. So look at your law of attraction. What do you really, really, really want? Decide you are worth it. That is so important. It's one of the most, but not the most important step. Decide you're worth it, and then decide what you are going to do to get it. What are the steps you are going to take to make that law of attraction real? What are you going to do if you hit a roadblock and the first thing you hear is no? So remember, you must take the action. You must be committed. You must be disciplined. You must have belief and faith
and a very strong work ethic too, because the best plan in the world may not work if you don't work with it. Now, you may have heard many times about the marshmallow test. And the marshmallow test is an interesting test where they took children, they put them in a room with one marshmallow. It's also been done with one cookie and one pretzel. And they said to the children, if you wait, don't eat that marshmallow, then you will have two. So they were seeing how good these children were at delaying gratification, because if you can delay gratification, you are wired for success. And they found one group, maybe a third of the kids, just shoved that marshmallow in their mouth straight away and said, oh, I couldn't wait, I needed it now. They needed instant gratification. The second group said, no, I'm going to wait. And they sat there knowing that if they waited, they got two marshmallows. The third group, well, they were interesting because they really wanted that marshmallow. They were very much a combination of group 1 and 2. They wanted it. They also wanted to wait. As they made funny faces, they turned their chair around, they tried not to look at the marshmallow, and they forced themselves to wait. And they also got the second marshmallow. So group 1, instant gratification. Group 2, naturally delayed gratification. Group 3 were kind of programmed to be group 1, but fought with themselves until they became group 2. They resisted their natural instinct to eat the marshmallow. And what they discovered as they followed those children was group 2 and 3, the ones who delayed gratification naturally or completely unnaturally, were way more successful than group 1, that when I need it and I can't wait and I got no self-control, it looks nice, it tastes nice, bam, I've eaten it and now I kind of wish I'd waited. So I'm telling you this because it does not matter if you are not naturally group 2. It only matters that you can train yourself, teach yourself, and help yourself to become group 2. Because here's the thing, when we're kids, we learn naturally to delay gratification. Our parents say, clean your room and then you can have an ice cream. Do your homework and then you can go to the park. Do your chores and then we'll go out and have cookies. We all do that naturally with children. And then we learn to stop. And you see, if you come in from work and you are naturally a gratification delay, you'll go, wow, my favorite program is on tonight and I'm going to have this wonderful dinner. But first I'm going to go through my emails, do the stuff that's important, and then my dinner and movie is my reward. And what happens is you get through the work you don't do because you're thinking of the reward. You go, this is a reward for doing that. Other people come in and go, no, I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to have a lovely dinner, and later I do my emails. And of course, later never comes because you had your reward first. And it is a classic mistake to take your reward first. Now, when I do things I don't want to do, I start to say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to have a wonderful coffee. Even having a coffee, a tea, a NutriBullet, I think, oh, I need that. But first I'm going to do something, and then I'm going to reward myself with that. And I've wired my brain now to do work first, take the reward second, and very rarely to have the reward first and then do the work. Because I know it doesn't work. If I take the reward first, I don't do the work. And also, human beings are wired to like a reward. If you talk to any guys, they say that they like women that make them work for their attention. They don't really like women that just give it all away because they need to earn it. They like to earn love, earn respect, earn admiration. We don't really like what we haven't worked for. I work with so many rock stars that just give everything away and take drugs and fall apart because they go, yeah, but I just wrote a song and I never earned that. We are actually wired as humans to like to earn our reward, and we feel so good when we earned it. And we go, I earned that, I deserve that, I was worthy of it. When someone just gives us stuff, it actually has no value. I know when I work with companies sending me lots of clients to stop smoking, and the success rate wasn't high enough because they were just giving it away. When I said, look, you need to make your staff pay
and then you reimburse them after a year. Then it will work. And when they did that, the success rate changed dramatically because they were getting their stopping smoking fees back from the company, but they had to show some commitment too. So please remember, you are hardwired to earn your reward, to feel really good about enjoying something you have earned. And when you take the reward without earning it, it makes you feel terrible, which is why so many of my clients get into destructive behavior, drugs, drinking, procrastination, self-loathing, because we can't appreciate stuff that we're just given. We like it much more when we earn it. Do I naturally take gratification? Or am I group 2? Do I earn it? I'm group 3. Am I going to learn to earn it? You can learn to delay gratification. Wire yourself to delay gratification, because it is another thing that you do that will allow you to join the success club. Delay gratification, you are on your way to success, and guess what? Success is on its way to you, because what you are moving towards is simultaneously moving towards you faster when you learn to delay gratification. If you enjoyed that video, check out the next one right here. You can also click the link below right here for your free gift. When you focus on where you want to go, you actually go towards it. The more you focus on where you want to be, the more your mind, like a heat-seeking missile,